moet even ontzettend lachen. Het is maandag 4 december. Maar het is zo grappig, want ik heb nog nooit zoveel vrouwen in de audience gehad. Het is zo... Echt, dat was hard, dat gegil. Echt, het glazuur is van mijn tanden gesprongen. Echt waar. Gefeliciteerd. Maar heb je gezellig, dames? Hebben jullie er zin in vandaag? Het is ongelooflijk. Ik kon net al helemaal niet binnenkomen. Hè. Er was een chaos buiten. Echt duizenden schreeuwende vrouwen. Krioelden over elkaar. Echt waar. Het was alsof we je gratis schoenen aan het weg waren gegeven. Het was echt een Tarzan-verkoop weggeven. Zeg maar. Ongelooflijk. En de hele dag op straat, weet je wel. Jensen, zijn allemaal vrouwen, weet je wel. Leuke vrouwen. Allemaal. Jensen, mag ik mee? Dus ik zeg, tuurlijk schatje, maar ik moet wel eerst even werken. En zij, nee, niet voor jou, dikke dombo. For take that. De gasten van vanavond, dames en heren, echt een kletsnatte boel hier. Kletsnatte boel. Echt, als het vannacht gaat vriezen, kan je morgen schaatsen hier. Dat is echt waar. Want vanavond, dames en heren, het is echt gezellig. Dit hebben we nog nooit gehad. Ik heb dit nog nooit meegemaakt. Wat er vandaag gebeurt is een legendarische band te gast. In de jaren 90 scoorden ze tientallen hits. Ze verkochten meer dan 25 miljoen platen en waren echt de droom van elk meisje. En nu zijn ze helemaal terug. In Engeland staan ze weer op de eerste plaats van de hitlijsten. Ik heb het over That Band Called Take That. Fantastisch. Oh, dat is... Het is echt ongelooflijk. Alleen maar vrouwen in het publiek. Ik zag 3 jongens zitten. En die lijken allemaal op Gerard Joling. Dus dan weet je het maar. Jongens. Nou, je kent mijn gast natuurlijk van hits als Babe, Everything Changes, But You Relight My Fire. En natuurlijk wat ik dus echt een popklassieker vind. Echt een van de beste nummers aller tijden. Gary Barlow zelf geschreven. Back for Good. Kijk nog eventjes.
But underline, figured out the story. No, it wasn't good.
Alleen maar in het publiek vandaag de allergrootste fans van Take That. En de meesten waren er vroeg bij vanochtend. En ja, het is ongelooflijk. De fans, ja, sommigen zijn misschien ietsje ouder geworden, maar niet minder enthousiast. Moet je even kijken hoe het hier vandaag achter de schermen bij Jensen is geweest. Kijk even.
Take That. Ja, fijn dat jullie terug zijn. Echt, ik sta helemaal te shaken.
I would like to say it's a pleasure to be here and congrats that you are #1 in Germany. Well done.
Alles is lekker, Mark. Stef, Jensen! Het lach. Howard is gewoon lekker. Die is toch ook wel flink lekker opgerookt, moet ik zeggen. Alles!
Ja, het is gewoon goede muziek. Kan niet anders zeggen, waar vind je?
Ja, zeker. Come in Holland next year for a tour. I hope next time you want to make a picture with me. I'm happy that Take That are back. Nou ben ik klaar, nou wil ik je weer.
Dat is dus het sfeertje vandaag. Dat is het sfeertje. Kijk, ik zit er nu een beetje zo te twijfelen. Hè. Zal ik mijn gasten wel nu hier op de bank laten plaatsnemen? Nee, wacht. Ik vraag me af of mijn publiek het vanavond wel wil, Take That, hier op de bank. Volgens mij zijn ze er wel klaar voor. Is ze klaar voor? Wereldwijd verkochten ze 25 miljoen platen, dames en heren. Het is tijd voor mijn volgende gasten. Het was even stil, maar ze zijn weer helemaal terug. Staan in Engeland weer op de eerste plaats. Ladies and gentlemen, Take That!
them the money.
We paid them a lot of money to be here. Cost us a lot of money.
I mean, this... that was the Borat dance. Gary. Not the dancing type, Gary. Howard, you're a pretty good dancer. Howard, shut them up, dance.
You know what, Robert?
First, this is a talk show, not a screaming show. Shut up! My God.
Robert.
Guys, welcome. I'm sorry, Jason. You were saying something?
We haven't got out of being a boy band. We come on a show and we have to dance.
You have to dance?
We're still a boy band, this
Yeah,
seems.
the guy's 52 years old. He can't dance. Well, it's fantastic having you guys on the show. My God.
Great to be back.
Thank you.
But was it? Do you ever get used to this, to the streaming, this screaming, this loud? I mean, how's your hearing, Gary? Is it impaired after all these years?
Pardon?
Mark, good to see you.
Great to be
That's
here.
fantastic, and they look fantastic, don't they? Oh no, I'm doing it.
Do you know, on our last day ever, when we were a band first time round, you interviewed us, didn't you?
You remember that?
Robert interviewed us on our last day. It was
a big interview.
Massive interview.
Massive interview. It was one of the best interviews
That's
ever.
what made us split up, actually.
After this interview, we can split up now.
Again,
because we've done the best interview in the world. No, it's true.
Drink's supposed to be for us.
There we go. Some champagne for the lads.
Oh, well, that's
Pass it down.
Pass it on.
Pass it
Well,
down.
Jason's teetotal, you don't drink, do you?
Well, you know what happened last time, huh? Too much drinks, too much drugs. I mean, just to keep a lid on it this time, guys.
We'll try.
Keep some control. Keep some control.
Cheers.
No,
Cheers.
cheers.
Cheers,
But I remember, cheers, guys. Great to have you on the show because I really feel like sort of.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers,
all
Gary.
right.
Cheers. Lovely.
All right.
See, how times have changed. Now we can drink on TV.
Oh, you couldn't do that before?
No, we weren't allowed to. We were too young.
Well, on this show, you can do anything you want,
Really?
Gary. Right?
Anything?
Anything. You can do a striptease, whatever you want to do on the show.
I thought you wanted to keep your viewers.
Well, but I mean, no, the last time I spoke to you guys, it was in Amsterdam. It was the last day of interviews that you did. Like last session, you were really, you were going to split, go your own way, and go.
Yeah.
It was a strange day. Is there anything you can remember? Because I remember walking into the Amstel Hotel and just, once again being bombarded by all these screaming girls, and it wasn't for me. Like today, it wasn't for me. It was for you guys. But do you remember anything of that day?
No.
Nothing.
I think it was just very surreal. A surreal day for us. I remember us going on one of the canal boats down the canal and people waving. We did a big TV show. And in the evening we had like a little party. Everybody came from all different countries to to toast. Well, just to have a drink and be merry, I guess. But that's
And
pretty
in
much
some
it.
respects, it felt like the start of something new. Then.
Right.
And little did we know, I guess, what we were losing that day, because to come back this time and have it again, I think, for me anyway, when we toured again and we do things like this, it reminds me of how much I've missed it in the last 10 years.
We're going to take you back to how it all started. Let's take a look. In 1990 worden 5 jongens uit Noord-Engeland bij elkaar gebracht om een band te vormen. Take That. Ze verkochten wereldwijd meer dan 25 miljoen cd's. Waardoor ze de meest succesvolle Britse band werden sinds de Beatles. Het begint 16 jaar geleden toen de latere manager Nigel Martin Smith zangers en dansers zocht voor een nieuw te vormen band.
I seem to think that my mum heard about it on a radio station one morning and sent my CV off. And then I got a call, I believe, from Nigel Martin Smith to go up and be interviewed.
A friend of mine brought me a clip out of a newspaper and it was Nigel's advertisement for this band.
In die tijd is Jason breakdancer, Mark werkt bij een bank, Howard in een garage en Gary schrijft muziek en zingt in coverband. Gary laat een bandje achter bij Nigel en weet niet wat hij ervan moet verwachten. Maar als Nigel het luistert, weet hij niet wat hij hoort.
This
track came on and I thought, that's not him. That's not this kid I've just seen.
I had a show that night, so I was washing me Ford Orion, you know. I could hear the phone ringing.
Just about that tape that you gave me, what's on it?
I said, it's me.
So I said, can you come in straight? Can you come back?
I said, absolutely. What time? 10 o'clock. Please come back and see me.
And the demo for Million Love Songs, he had a little studio at home, was exactly the same as what went on to be the hit record.
Na een zware auditie worden de andere 4 jongens erbij gevoegd. En daar is Take That. Nigel geeft ze nog wat laatste advies.
I can remember now very clearly saying to them, you know, in 5 years' time, if it is a success, you'll probably hate each other, you'll definitely hate me, because of that's what happens, but we'll all be very wealthy.
And then the fun started.
First of all, before we start to talk about anything else, what was your dress sense like when you were growing up, mates?
Who was that in the middle there?
Mine. It looked a bit like a gay Teletubby, right?
That was the gay Teletubby show I was on.
I mean, what was that? Where was that from?
That was, it was through the school that I went to. I was 15, and they asked all the pupils over England to write a song for Christmas. And I sent mine in, and we got a call to be on this show. And it was like a 1 o'clock in the afternoon show.
Okay.
Yeah, and they dressed me.
So you were actually on TV. They dressed you. Not your fault. Not your fault.
No.
So you were actually on TV, Gary. You know, like quite early on in life.
Well, that was the first time I've been on TV.
Okay. Yeah.
But
did any of you guys know each other before you were put together in the band?
No.
None of you ever met?
I used to. We used to go to a breakdancing club called the Apollo every Sunday, and I used to see Jason breakdancing there. But he was in the better crew.
Oh, he's better.
And I was in the crap crew.
Oh, okay.
And I was in the even crapper crew.
Even crapper crew. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, but were you guys sort of put together? How many people, you know, sort of responded to that ad in the paper? Was it
5?
5?
Yeah.
no,
Six. Yeah.
All right. Who dropped out?
Well, we don't know. The documentary piece you just showed, they tried to find this guy for that, but they had like 50 people claiming to be him. So we don't really know who he was.
I'm Spartacus.
Who?
I'm Spartacus. You've seen the film Spartacus?
My God. What have you been doing the past 10 years? Is he still drunk? Is he
doesn't drink. He's the only one that doesn't drink.
He's the only one that doesn't drink. So how were you sort of put together? I mean, you had an immediate sort of connection with Robbie, right? You know, you guys...
Yeah, because we were the youngest, so I think that was something to do with it. Whenever, in the old days, we used to pair up in rooms, so me and Rob were always put in a room together.
But you actually met Robbie just on the first day. You actually went into the audition.
Yeah, we met outside just before we went in, because both of us turned up with our mums on different corners of the street and told our mums to stay away.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then we walked together and we were both like, see you, mum. Together and we were both like, see you, mum. And we noticed, turned and faced each other and we both walked down. So, yeah, we met on the first day.
Oh, that's cute, isn't it?
Yeah, it was
cute.
Funny. But then also, I always remember that when we used to drive around, we used to have this van, like a 6-seater van, because me and Rob couldn't drive. These guys used to make us do all the crap jobs, all the shit jobs. Like, fill up the car with petrol, go into the service station, buy all the sweets and sandwiches. We were basically their runners, me and Rob.
And they were the drivers. They were the drivers.
Yeah.
Okay, so but when... because I remember the first album wasn't a huge success, was it?
Not internationally, it wasn't. In the UK, I think we did all right, and good enough for them to want to do another record with us.
Right. But what was the idea behind, you know, you guys looking, you know, quite gay and sort of, you know, appealing more to the gay audience? But it's true. I mean, you went to all the gay clubs at first, right? Yeah. That's how you guys started out. What was the thinking behind that?
Well, that was before the first record, though, that was.
Oh, okay,
we were trying to get noticed, and we certainly got noticed.
We became popular, really, as a band the day we put our clothes on. Yeah, we spent 1.5 years with all our clothes off and nobody was interested, and the day we put them on it was like, these are okay.
What was it like, you know, just, you know, being straight and, you know, having to go to these gay clubs and walk through the audience? I mean, you must have been pinched a couple of times, right?
I think it was great. I think...
Oh! After 10 years, the truth finally comes out.
To be honest with you, those cod pieces we used to wear, I've still got mine, and I wear it every now and then in the mirror, you know, have a little look. But, no, I think when you look back at them days, the fashion, you know, whether you call it a fashion mistake or whatever, it was, I don't know, it's part of us growing up. And learning by our mistakes, and you know, we did the gay clubs, the under 18s, the over 18s. We did as much as we could do, and we loved it.
Yeah, you loved it?
Gay or straight, we've got a great gay following.
Never felt uncomfortable? Who was the most uncomfortable, you know, with the clothing and with the dress?
It was my cod piece. It used to push my testicles into my stomach.
Really? Made you sound like the Bee Gees, right? But Gary, you weren't too comfortable with all the clothing and stuff, right?
I loved it.
Once again, after 10 years.
I too, like Howard, try and get into my old stuff, but the problem is I can't get into my old stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's too small now.
But let me talk about the first album.
Yes.
I mean, because I went back to it. Listened to it. And the first album, classic.
Oh, don't listen to it.
No. No, but it was, I mean, compared to the second album, all of a sudden, you know, the songs started to get better. I mean, the improvement is immense, you know, going back to it. Because there's still some great songs on that album, because that second album was Everything Changes.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Yeah. And then that's when it exploded, right? Sort of worldwide almost.
Yeah, I feel like we've sort of developed in the public eye. We have. Even now, I think that's part of almost our attraction, is our imperfections. We're not all the best singers in the world, you know, we're not the best dancers in the world, but we just try really hard at what we do and believe in what we do, and we're very ambitious with what we do. Yeah. And that can translate into success. It proves it can. Yeah. And I think if you have a dream and you've got a goal, you know, we work for it as a team always, and we enjoy ourselves, but we work hard as well.
Well, and successful you guys became. Take a look. De 5 jongens worden in een bootcamp geplaatst en beginnen aan een drillcursus zingen en danspasjes leren. Na vele optredens in gayclubs, roadshows en scholen begint de ster van Take That langzaam te reizen.
They've been tipped as Britain's answer to New Kids on the Block. Except these guys can dance as well as sing with their latest single, Promises. Take That!
Promises komt binnen op 39 in de Engelse hitlijst en haalt ook in Nederland de top 40. Maar hun echte succes komt pas bij hun tweede album in 1993 als Pray, Take That's eerste nummer 1 hit wordt. Mega hits als Babe, Relight My Fire en Everything Changes volgen en Take That Mania is definitief een feit. En de verafgoding is pas net begonnen.
Oh, I just got raped!
But I got woken up by this morning. Crazy, man.
Duizenden fans staan de jongens dag en nacht op te wachten en Take That spullen zijn niet meer aan te slepen. Het is big business. Klokken, stickers, sjaals, poppen. Je kunt het zo gek niet bedenken. Door heel Europa, Azië en Australië is Take That inmiddels mateloos populair. Ze verkopen miljoenen platen en scoren honderden nummer 1 hits. In 1995 bereikt de band opnieuw een hoogtepunt als vriend en vijand wordt verrast door het fantastische Back for Good.
That means it's at number 1 for a 6th time for Take That with Back for Good.
Het wordt ook een hit in Amerika en niets lijkt de groep in de weg te staan om ook daar groot door te breken. I mean, looking back, you know, from the day it exploded. I mean, that was actually your bedroom, right? With the girls outside?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh. It was your girlfriend's bedroom?
My girlfriend's bedroom. No, I think it was a hotel. I don't know where we were. It might have even been here.
Okay, in Holland?
In Rotterdam.
All right.
Yeah.
It was in Rotterdam.
In Rotterdam.
Okay. Because, I mean, there's a special bond between you Take That and the Netherlands, right? I mean, it's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, completely. This is one of the first places we started in when we started to come outside of the UK. And then we finished here as well, so it's always felt like a special place. When we were looking at places to go this time round, when we said we're coming back to Holland, we were all
how much
quite
of them
excited.
apartments? What? How much are them apartments on the canal?
How much what?
How much are the apartments on the canal?
Apartments on the canal. Depends on whether you're talking about the hookers inside. They're quite cheap. So those places are easy, but I mean, they're not that expensive.
They're expensive.
Well, that's all right. You want to come and live in Holland?
I think Amsterdam would be a great place to live. I really do. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful city.
The girls would love that. You guys all move into one canal house. That would be so nice. They would love that. They would love that idea. But I mean, we all know the story about Robbie and his problems with drinking and drugs and all that. But from you, did you guys ever, get sort of hooked on all that stuff, or you all sort of experimented, or was there one of you who actually stayed clean during the whole period? All of a sudden, silence. Dead air. How about you, Jason? Were you sort of into all that, drugs, drink?
You know what? We were the kind of band where we had to stay fit and stuff because we were dancing as well as singing.
And now the real answer, Jason.
So, I'm going to get to that in a second. I'll just give you the bollocks first.
That's an honest answer.
No, it's not bollocks. It's truth. We had to stay fit on the road, and I think the worst we ever did was take a drink. But we never were a big drinking band.
No.
Just because we had to stay fit for the shows and stuff,
Is that bollocks, Mark, that he's saying, or is it actually true?
No. I think we knew how to party when the time was right. But
even little cute Mark, he used drugs?
Yeah, on occasion.
You did?
Yeah. I never bought them, though. They made me take them.
After we were driving, go on, Mark, get the drugs.
Now that makes sense to me. That makes sense. What were you going to say, Jace?
Yeah, I was just going to say what Howard said. Fill up the petrol tank, Mark, and then go and get some skunk weed from Amsterdam. No, not
really. Gary, you was never all that?
Pardon?
First question he didn't understand. But I mean, were you into the drugs things?
Do you know what? I agree with Jason.
Why do you touch your nose?
No, do you know what? When we were in the band, I was very much, especially with, I did a lot of the singing, for the concerts and stuff. Absolutely, I never really used to. I used to have a drink now and again. Yeah. It was after the band that I mean, there was a period after the band which, work stopped for me, and it was kind of, I got to about 27 and thought it's too young to retire, and so I was trying to reinvent what I did, being in the studio and stuff, and I actually smoked a lot of weed during that period. A lot of weed. Okay. I had a 6-7 month period where I pretty much smoked it every day.
Well, what I think is interesting, but I mean, it is 2006. We can all be a little bit more open about that, because I mean, 10 years ago, I mean, the image was really squeaky clean. And I think it's sort of interesting to know now that, you guys went through your things, and we found out about Robbie, through the years. Yeah. I mean, and it hit him hardest.
But even Rob was after the band, because I think he often complains about the fact that we had to work so hard and be on stage, and the shows were so physical back then. So he discovered all that after the band, his drinking stuff, that, if you read his book, it's all in there it's all after the band. Okay. And it was similar for me.
Yeah. So, well, he left the band in '95, and then we're going to bring back some traumatic times for the girls here in the audience, because I have a clip of what happened between, '95 and '96 and the last day in Amsterdam. Take a look.
Door het succes en de roem zijn de jongens veranderd. Er ontstaan veel spanningen binnen de groep en ze zitten aan de drugs en de drank. Vooral Robbie krijgt problemen met het management en begint veel problemen te veroorzaken door zijn overmatig drankmisbruik.
I was so depressed. So depressed. And I was going back to my hotel in Manchester. And I just drink myself into oblivion. And I could just remember, wailing like a banshee, uncontrollable, in my room by myself, downing and a bottle of neat vodka.
Robbie weet het zeker. Hij wilde mee stoppen.
Rob went off to Glastonbury. And I remember he came back and he was absolutely wasted. And he went upstairs and had a bit of a kip. And he came down a bit later and Rob said he didn't want to be in the band no more.
Ze gaan nog even met z'n vieren door, scoren nog wat hits, maar de geruchten blijken waar. En op 13 februari 1996 volgt er een persconferentie.
Thanks for everybody's support in the last 5 years. You've been absolutely fantastic to us. But unfortunately the rumours are true. How Deep Is Your Love is going to be our last single together. And The Greatest Hits is going to be our last album. and from today is no more.
So there you go.
Thank you.
Miljoenen harten worden gebroken en hulplijnen voor verdrietige fans worden in het leven geroepen. Er volgt een afscheidstoer die eindigt in Nederland.
Now, let me run this by you, because I was there the last day in Amsterdam, interviewed you guys, and this was my impression. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but let me just fire it off at you guys. Jason, my impression of you was you were sort of happy that it was over, and you were really looking forward to some time to yourself and do some traveling and all that. You were actually kind of sort of relieved. Is that true?
That is great perception. Perfect. Yeah.
Was it true?
Yeah.
That's sort of how it came about. Howard, I noticed from you that you sort of, you couldn't really imagine anything else than what you were doing. You actually hadn't had a picture in your mind of what it was going to be like, you know, not being in the band. You sort of thought, okay, well, life goes on, and probably in the same sort of energy and same sort of existence as I am right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think when it ended, I didn't see a future for myself, but at the time, with the hard work that we were doing, it was one of those things where you feel like you need the break, and you do think splitting up is the right thing to do, but then you find out 6 months later that you've got nothing to do. You know, you're living in each other's pockets 24 hours a day, then all of a sudden you're not, and you're thinking, well, you know, I've got nothing in my life anymore. You know, that's how I felt about it. I was probably more depressed about it than anybody.
It's because in the documentary it sort of touches...
I think I should be Dutch, actually.
Yeah, really. But I mean, in the documentary you sort of touched upon the subject that you almost tried to kill yourself because you were so depressed. Is that correct? Did you actually...
Yeah, I think it was one of those minutes where I had this thought in my head where I was in a hotel room in London one day, and I think, if I remember rightly, I had a bit of a disagreement with Gary this day. And I felt... no, this is the truth. Yeah, yeah. I had a bit of a disagreement, and with everything that was going on, you know, I knew it was going to split up, and I wanted to go down to the Thames and throw myself in. But it was night time, and I thought, if it's just mud and the tide's gone out, I'm going to be stuck in the mud. Waiting for someone to rescue me.
But that really sort of shows subliminally you didn't want to die that day.
No, I mean, if someone would have said, right, you want to die now, go and throw yourself in front of a train, right, I wouldn't have done.
No, you wouldn't have done it. But I mean, it shows how low you got, sort of.
Yeah, I was low.
Yeah. And Gary, what I sensed from you, you were sort of the more confident of the four, and you were sort of, okay, because there were so many things already, that's how it felt, lined up for you. You know, you had a record deal, you're going to come out with a solo album and all that. So it wasn't sort of a big shock, or you didn't really have to deal with all the insecurity of what I'm going to do now.
No, I was in the mindset of this is just my life forever. Yeah. This is how it's going to be. Whatever I write is going to be a platinum record. That was honestly how I thought.
It's true. Because then you got the...
Because I'd had 6 years of just going in my room, writing something. It would be... The week later we'd be doing the video, and the week after that it'd be #1 in the charts.
Yeah.
That's all we had for 6 years.
Yeah. And Mark, I mean, you also kickstarted a sort of a solo career.
Yeah.
And actually one great song, but help me out. What was it? Clementine?
Clementine.
I thought it was a fantastic song.
Thank you very much. You were the one that bought it.
That's not true. That was a hit. That was a hit in the UK anyway.
It was a hit in the UK. Yeah, I remember playing that on the radio. That was fantastic. And did you hit a few of those lows that
I think for me, I wanted to distance. Do you know when you're part of something for so long, like as we were for 5 or 6 years, and it was very intense. Everywhere we went, you know, people were like cheering us on and supporting us, which is amazing. But when that came to an end, you know, even when we see those pictures of that you showed earlier, you know, it's hard for us to... We were so much in this little bubble at that time that we didn't really see what everybody else was feeling. So when we split up and stuff like that, I think that, you know, we did it for maybe in some ways a selfish reason, that we really were tired and we needed to have a break from it. Yeah. And then when I went solo, it was really important for me to distance myself from Take That.
Oké, dames en heren, blijf kijken, want we hebben straks veel meer met Take That. Ook de confrontatie met Robbie Williams. Ze wil dit niet missen. Meer met Take That. Ze gaan ook nog optreden. Wat een avond, hè, dames. Tot zo, blijf je. Ook met het publiek. Zo gek. Dames en heren, een bijzondere avond. We zitten hier namelijk echt met de reunie van Take That.
I need a top up.
Oh, you need a top up? Please go ahead.
I don't want to top up.
We're going to fast forward to today, to now. Because, I mean, you took the time out for yourself. You build up, your life. Because you have a kid, right, Mark?
I've just had a baby boy.
You've just had a baby. Gary, you're married and you've got a couple of kids?
2 children.
2 children. What are the names?
Daniel and Emily.
Oh, that's Howard? Oh, he's still looking for the booze.
Yeah, I've got 2 girls. I've got Lola May and Grace May.
That's nice.
Actually, Grace sings a little bit on the album.
Really? Yeah. What track?
Mancunian Way.
Which one?
Mancunian Way.
Oh, cool. And how about you? And Jason, what's your life like nowadays? Where do you live? Do you live?
We're not a drinking band, honest.
He's trying to protect the image.
Yeah.
So what's your life like nowadays?
Well, I'm back in Take That. So I'm busy again.
Well, and I must admit to you that when I was hearing stories that Take That might, get together and start touring again and make new albums, I really was sort of hesitant. I thought, oh my God, this could be awkward.
Yeah.
This could be a bit contrived. This could be, really painful. Like, a couple of granddads dancing together in tight jeans. But I have to be honest with you. I think it's fantastic that you guys are back. It's fantastic. It's great to have you back. Yeah. Absolutely. I really think it's sort of... It doesn't feel unnatural. It's nice to have Take That back in the music landscape. And I think you really shouldn't stop with just this great album. You should go on and on and on and on.
Yeah, well, thank you very much, Rob.
I really mean this. So now let's talk about Robbie. Have you been in touch? Save the best for last.
That was a nice way into that.
Right. Now I've got the egos pumped up again. Here we go. Robbie, what's... you really miss Robbie, right? Because, you had the best sort of personal connection.
Yeah. During the band, I think we were closest. And I've seen him a few times during the years since. I performed with Rob up at Nebworth, a massive concert he did in London. But I think, everybody's now in touch with Rob, everybody's speaking to Rob. But I think what's been most important for me, and I could think all the stages of this happening, Rob has been involved, through the documentary. Yeah. We really want...
Can I interrupt you here? Because I'm going to show that clip. Because I think it's fantastic. Because this documentary, this English documentary, where they really brought you guys together, sort of a reunion. Well, take a look. I think it was fascinating to see. Yeah, take a look, girls. You'll love this.
Nadat Gary, Mark, Jason en Howard op het hoogtepunt van hun succes besluiten te stoppen, gaan ze ieder hun eigen weg. Gary en Mark proberen een solo-carrière van de grond te krijgen. Jason maakt een wereldreis en Howard wordt DJ. Na 10 jaar komen ze weer bij elkaar, maar zonder Robbie Williams. Ze zijn wel een jaartje ouder, maar dat schijnt helemaal niets uit te maken. Hoewel Robbie deze zomer druk was met zijn eigen wereldtournee, hebben de overige 4 de stille hoop dat hij zou komen opdagen voor de reunie.
I betted Howard £100 that Robbie shows up.
Well, you're going to be broke, lad.
I think he's not going, and Jay thinks he is.
Helaas laat Robbie het afweten en de teleurstelling is duidelijk zichtbaar.
I'm gutted that Robbie's not coming.
Yeah, I'm gutted.
Robbie schittert door afwezigheid, maar wilde na 10 jaar toch het een en ander rechtzetten en liet een boodschap achter.
Well, I just sincerely apologise for any upset that I may have caused you after me leaving the band. I apologise. You're never anything but nice to me. Mark, we're still in touch. And we speak to each other. I think you're a genius, mate. To Jay, I'm really sorry as well about taking the piss when I was in the band and when I left. And I think you're a good man and I'd love to see you one day. Gaz, you're an amazing songwriter. I apologise for saying that you weren't. I apologise. You are an amazing songwriter. You have an amazing voice.
Gelukkig kunnen ze weer lachen. Want met of zonder Robbie Williams, Take That staat na 10 jaar weer op nummer 1 met hun nieuwe single Patience.
Yeah, it's always weird seeing that. It gets me every time, that. Really? Seeing that back, yeah.
I see you, all you guys got emotional watching that.
Yeah, gets me every time.
Well, Gary, you've had the most interesting relationship with Robbie. Have you sort of made sense of it now? I mean, or is it just so unbelievably complicated? Because I've read the Robbie book and I've heard your side of the story. I mean, is it just a lot of things and not one thing in particular?
No, do you know what? There is a lot of things, and we've met since, and we've talked, and all the rest of it, and we've not gone to that level yet. And maybe one day we will. Maybe we never will.
So since the documentary, you've actually met?
Yeah. We all met Rob when we were on tour in May. We had a couple of evenings where we just sat in a hotel room just talking about the old days. And I think he actually enjoyed it more than we did.
Couldn't believe it.
No,
really,
it was great, actually. It was good for all of us, I think, to see him again.
Yeah. Did he congratulate you guys on the number 1?
Yeah,
they have the number 1 song in England and Germany, guys.
That's actually while we're drinking. We're celebrating on your show.
It's fantastic.
Before we went on tour, we spoke to Rob and not got his approval, but we asked him for his opinion, and and also he has congratulated on the number 1, and coming on your show today, he said good luck on the Jensen show.
Oh, that's very good. Are you guys going to perform it for us?
We are, yeah.
That's fantastic. I really thought it was lovely seeing you guys again after 10 years. It was fantastic having you guys on the show.
I mean, thank you very much. It's a great show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. But I loved it, and the girls loved you guys. Are you going to do the song now?
Yes. Should we go over?
Please go over to say, dames en heren, take that! Dames en heren, geef alles wat je hebt voor een van de meest legendarische boybands aller tijden. Ze zingen hun nieuwe single Patience. Dames en heren, the one and only Take That! een speciale avond vanavond. Ik vond het echt wel mij zo. Ik bedank mijn gasten. Take That. En morgen zijn we er weer. En het gaat maar door met de grote sterren en artiesten. Dan met James Morrison. En misschien komt Sinterklaas nog even. Ik kan het allemaal niet meer verstaan. Tot morgen. Bye bye.